Major League Baseball's opening week ended on Sunday with the Seattle Mariners taking on the Cleveland Indians at Safeco Field. What should have been a great day of baseball, however, was soured by the actions of two young schoolgirls. As fans saw what the girls did, they were understandably horrified. For the most part, professional baseball was uninvolved in the turbulence faced by the NFL due to protests of the National Anthem. Whereas entire teams of NFL players took a knee during the playing of the National Anthem to protest perceived police brutality and racial discrimination in America, in Major League Baseball, only one player knelt during the Star-Spangled Banner. Oakland A's backup catcher Bruce Maxwell took a knee late last year, but he has since decided to stop his protest of our country and flag, and other than Maxwell, MLB has remained free of any national anthem protests. However, that changed in a hurry when baseball's opening week festivities concluded on Sunday. Some fans tuned into MLB's opening slate of games to watch the New York Yankees slugger duo of Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton blast some home runs. Other fans watched to catch a glimpse of the much-hyped Los Angeles Angels prospect Shohei Ohtani. Most fans watched opening week games just to have some professional baseball in their lives again after a long offseason. They probably didn't watch opening week contests to observe any anthem protests. And yet, that's exactly what they got. The Seattle Mariners were getting ready to host the Cleveland Indians at Safeco Field on Sunday when, as per tradition, prior to the game, the national anthem was played. A local elementary school was performing the song when two students went rogue, taking a knee in front of the entire stadium. Those two little girls didn't just kneel in the middle of the performance, though. They knelt directly in front of the official flag bearers, dishing out a slap in the face to our military and first responders, which they were both too young to understand. It's unclear from the footage of the event exactly what branch of service the men carrying the flags were part of, but regardless, they don't deserve such blatant disrespect, especially from a couple of little brats with no real comprehension of the issues at hand. Whether the flag bearers were policemen or firemen, they still serve and protect Americans, and they deserve the respect of us all, no matter how young or old. This year's NFL season was drama-filled and marked by misguided protests and political grandstanding. Starting back in September, professional football players from teams nationwide began kneeling during the playing of the national anthem in the vein of former San Francisco 49ers quarterback Colin Kaepernick. Kaepernick began taking a knee as the Star-Spangled Banner played before games in 2016 to protest police brutality and racial discrimination in America. Of course, this could not have been more ironic, seeing as Kaepernick was adopted by a white family who raised him with every advantage in the world. Not to mention the fact that he makes more money than 99% of white people. Although Colin Kaepernick is perhaps the worst poster boy for racial discrimination of all time, his colleagues quickly jumped on the bandwagon and began kneeling during the anthem as well, in a blatant display of disrespect for the country which has afforded them such tremendous opportunity. Unfortunately, the movement didn't end with the 2016 NFL season. When football started again in the fall of 2017, professional ball players went back to their old antics, taking a knee instead of standing reverently with their hands over their hearts. Their protests intensified after President Donald Trump admonished them in a speech to his supporters, saying they ought to be fired for turning their backs on our flag and the brave men and women who have sacrificed everything so that self-entitled athletes like Colin Kaepernick can live safely and freely. Elementary school students have zero business kneeling for the national anthem like Colin Kaepernick. They're too young to understand issues like police brutality and racial discrimination in all their complexity. These kids lack the wisdom and cognitive reasoning ability needed to formulate a well-rounded opinion on such topics. That's why children of such a young age need the guidance of their parents, teachers, and elders. They must be taught the enduring values of patriotism and nationalism. Thus, the guilt of these little girls' actions should be placed on their parents, who should have put their foot down and insisted that the girls stand to honor their country and those who protect it.